Hello and welcome to another edition of the Dugout podcast. I'm Andrew, alongside as always Marissa,
Hi.
and this is our fourth take. We started with some, some rather unfortunate,
Gosh.
unfortunate.
We got a nice blooper in store for the viewers tonight.
No, we don't, because
Mm.
that I
Sha, you know what to do. Anyways, hi, how are you?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
I'm great.
Actually, you know what? I take that back. My energy has gone down with a few.
Good there.
Don't condemn
I'm
me
sorry to hear that.
because you and Shot plotting against me.
Wow,
Anyway, conspiring
very strong accusation.
is a fact.
Mm.
You know. Right. So, let's get to it though. Right. Again, welcome. This is Dugout Podcast, and tonight we have a great show in store, I believe. And we're gonna start by looking at the Premier League. And Marissa, it is official. It is official. We have crowned. Well, I was gonna say new, but sorry, my bad.
It's true.
We have crowned, officially crowned Premier League champions for the 2022-2023 season. It is none other than Manchester City. Um, and interestingly enough, they did so without even having to kick a ball in anger. You know,
It's true, boy.
they're the champions, the Sky Blues, for the third time running. I believe, yeah, the second club after Manchester United
Yeah.
to have done so. I think Man Utd did it maybe twice. A
Yeah, they
tribute,
did.
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, well, congrats to City. Any thoughts?
Thank God the season is over.
Any thoughts on the champions?
Oh, no.
Really? Well, I have
I
some
mean,
thoughts.
what more is there to say about Manchester City? I thought it looked a little dicey there in January, I must admit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they weren't in their best of form. Arsenal had a really good lead, I thought. And I remember we having a few shows where we were like, usually you expect City to go on the run, but we weren't sure that they were gonna do it. And boy, they did it. They did do it. I
Mhm.
found that I don't know, there's a switch like it flipped somewhere. There was some catalyst because I don't know what happened, but they were absolutely galvanized in the latter half of the season. Yes, I believe Arsenal bottled it 100%, but City were relentless in this title running as they often are. It's almost as if they thrive off of it, whereas on the opposite end, Arsenal seem to be buckling under the pressure. But I thought they were excellent. They didn't have to kick a ball. I did predict a Forest win,
Mhm.
which so I wasn't really surprised by Arsenal's result. Just a word on Arsenal. I know we don't need to give Arsenal all the praise on this podcast. I think a lot of people are doing that enough for us already. They're saying, great effort to make it close and stuff like that. But what I will say is that this is the second year in a row that when the pressure was on, Arsenal buckled. I would say that they have outperformed my expectations, certainly. But in the end, City were deserved champions.
Okay. I normally think that at the end of any league season, the champions are deserving because it's 38 games. You can't really fluke it.
Ty from AFTV would disagree.
I actually haven't seen any. I don't think I've watched. Maybe it's because of how well Arsenal were doing,
Mm.
but I really have not watched.
I watched a
any
few
of
lately.
Ty's tips on Arsenal's games this season. I saw one snippet on Instagram. I think it was before the City game where he held the Arsenal badge and he was saying that this is never scared, this is never this, and this is never that. But yeah, I haven't really been watching AFTV too much this season.
Okay.
But like you said, City's form for the first half of the season was a bit patchy. It wasn't what we've come to expect.
Right.
And, for a second there, I wondered. But then their form picked up. And to me, I'm not even sure it's a case where their form picked up in terms of performance level. I think it's just a case where the consistency of
Mhm.
performance picked up. Because
That's a good point.
maybe the last game against Real Madrid was a standout performance, but and maybe one of the Bayern ties. But apart from that, I think it was pretty much City's better team, even keel type of thing. But yeah, so I must take my hat off to them. I think to win any league 3 times in a row, is a commendable achievement. And and to touch on Arsenal, um, you said they buckled or capitulated, but for me, I don't want to say that I wasn't surprised because I don't want to sound like I'm hating on Arsenal, I suppose. But I always maintain, and I said it from the start of the season, when Arsenal got off to a really good start, and then they were able to sustain it. And, it came to a point probably after Christmas where, like, you accepted that, okay, they're in this type of race. But I always said, unless it's a case where you maintain that form for, let's say, the first 25, 30 odd games, where it's clear that you're going to win, and you can't lose it from there. Essentially, a title is always won in the last 10 games. What happens in the first half of the season is that you can lose it, but more often than not, you can't win it in the first half of the season. So Arsenal would have still had some work to do. And like you said, with 10 games to go, the pressure seemed to have mounted.
Yeah.
But I don't want to focus on Arsenal too much. I believe that we'll do that at another time.
Yeah. It gives City their flowers.
Yeah, because City's chasing a historic treble of trophies. Champions League final on the 10th of June, and before that, they have the FA Cup final against their local rivals, Manchester United. So this could be a historic season for City in more ways than one. So yeah,
I guess we see then.
You fancy their chances?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anything could happen in the cup final.
Anything.
Yeah, anything could happen.
But the way they look, though, it's just there's something about them now that I just don't see either Inter or Man U having a chance. I just don't.
You see, here's the thing. This is what to me is in their favor. They're actually the better team. So, like, for example, I don't want to go back to my team that I support, but remember we played the CL final against Real Madrid, and that was kind of like nip and tuck. In the league, we were up against City, which I think, for me, I can openly admit I think City's a better team. And have been most seasons under Klopp and Guardiola in the Premier League. So it's a case where if you're going to tip your hat, you will tip your hat to the other team. So that gives you a little bit of hope that okay, something can happen here and upset the apple cart. But City's actually favourites in the FA Cup final and the Champions League, and I would argue that they're overwhelming.
I agree.
Favorites.
I agree.
The only thing that I can see going against City, honestly, is if in the FA Cup final, for example, they become maybe in one of the games, and maybe they become complacent. Maybe the game is too easy.
I just can't.
And I can't see that happening, right? Or maybe they have one of those days where it's not clicking. But more likely, I think it's going to be clicking.
Yeah.
So
exactly, they're hungry for sure.
Yeah.
Enough of them, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really more to add.
Right.
Unless you want to go back to Arsenal, but I don't think you want to.
Not really.
No.
I think we have a. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say though. Actually, no, I'll leave that for next. So.
Okay. I would think that we have a much more interesting battle on the far end of the table, relegation. The one battle that has gone down to the wire, because I think top four is pretty much decided now.
Yeah.
Title decided. So relegation. Leicester got a point at Newcastle yesterday, which means that they absolutely have to win. Who's their final game?
I have no idea.
I'll have to check and see. They absolutely have to win. A draw won't be good enough. I think Everton is in pole position because they're actually out of the relegation zone. So I think even a draw can guarantee them safety. I don't think either of these or Leicester will overtake them on goal difference. So I genuinely think both Leeds and Leicester will go down. Leeds have Spurs, we know that for sure. Leicester I have no idea. I will check. No,
I'm checking.
Everton have Bournemouth for sure. I remember that. Leicester have West Ham at home. Yeah. So they absolutely have to win that and hope that Everton messes up at Bournemouth. And if Everton at home, I don't think they will, because that Goodison crowd will be electric. So yeah. So I genuinely
think have West Ham, Leeds have Spurs,
Everton have Bournemouth. Yeah.
And let me just check by table because
yeah. So I genuinely, my call for relegation would be Leeds and Leicester. I think Everton will survive. Just. Yeah. Leeds have 31 points. So do Leicester. Both of their goal difference are atrocious.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Leicester do have a hope. Even if Everton do draw and Leicester win,
Right.
Leicester can't overtake them on goal difference because
right.
Leicester's goal difference is better than Everton's.
Correct.
So that's the only thing. But I genuinely think Leeds and Leicester will go down.
Let me think about this. Let me think about it. Everton play who again?
At home to Bournemouth.
At home to Bournemouth.
Mm-hmm. They have 33 points.
Right. I have a table in front of me.
Okay.
And Leicester play
West Ham at home.
West Ham at home. And Leeds play who? Tottenham.
Spurs.
But Leeds got a chance.
Yeah, but Leeds' goal difference is so bad.
Yeah, it's so bad that they will depend.
They will need Everton to lose.
Everton to lose and Leicester lose as well.
Yeah.
We need both of them to drop points.
Yeah.
But Leeds got a chance. We just put it out there, right? I know seriously. I said, remember I said for Will that I said I fancy Big Sam to get at least one scout. Because he normally does.
And the way Spurs playing, yeah.
Exactly. And it's not I'm rooting against Tottenham or what's not, but I always believe that I put my money, or not my money necessarily, but I had a hunch that Leeds might get a big scout. I remember I said it would either be Newcastle or Tottenham.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, later in the show when we do the PR predictions, I might have a change of heart. But I think going into that game, I think Leeds will have a bit of belief.
Mm-hmm.
Everton at home to Bournemouth it is.
Yeah. Honestly, I
think Everton will get at least a point.
Yeah, I think Leeds will beat Spurs. I just think it won't be enough.
Okay. Yeah. And Leicester West Ham, I think Leicester done.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think Leicester beat West Ham at home.
I don't think so either.
So
yeah. So we'll see how that race shapes up. Final day of the season. I cannot wait till the season's over. But I can't wait till September because I never want to sit through the transfer window.
Well.
Interesting Bundesliga title race though.
Yeah. Well, I know what interesting it is, but sorry, tell me.
Well, consider Leipzig put 3 hot ones in Bayern, so now it's Dortmund's to lose. Yeah.
Dortmund 2 points ahead.
2 points ahead, yeah.
1 game left. And they both play 9th and 10th place team in league.
Okay. So and both at home? Both at home, right?
I didn't check. But I know Bayern play, I believe, FC Cologne, that was called it.
Check.
And
yeah, I think
Dortmund play Mainz, I believe.
Let me check it quick. But I know how did Bayern screw this up? Because remember when Nagelsmann got sacked, they were a point behind.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have a game in hand or anything?
I'm not sure.
So
I don't think they did.
How did Bayern manage to royally mess this up?
But what you mean royally mess it up?
Because
a point behind is not.
But Bayern is the way superior squad.
Yeah, but they're.
I'm complaining because I like Dortmund, but just
at that point, I think Dortmund would have just had league to focus on as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's one of those things because I look at so like you said, they were a point behind. I went and checked Tuchel's record since he came in, winning 30 league games though.
Mm-hmm. What is it?
So when they sat Nagelsmann during the March national break, I believe they would have been a point behind with 9 games remaining.
Mm-hmm.
So if the 8 games that Tuchel has coached in the league, he's won 5, lost 2, drawn 1. That's not horrible. You know what I mean? So like for me, it's one of those situations where, to be honest, if Bayern had won, it wouldn't have been because of Tuchel for me.
I agree.
And if they had lost it, I still don't think it's because of Tuchel. Because I think it was a title race. It wasn't like a case where Bayern were 5 or 6 points ahead, maybe 7.
I understand, yeah.
So I mean, just one of those things. It was all dependent on what Dortmund did. And yeah, Dortmund always did enough that, so it turns out when Bayern drop points, Dortmund can capitalize.
Yeah.
So like you said, is Dortmund to lose? Honestly, I still don't feel like Bayern still count. I still don't feel that Bayern won't end up winning because there've been times this season where Dortmund have had the opportunity to, lay a marker or put a little bit of distance between them. And it always feels like Dortmund drop points when they're in pole position.
But I mean, at home with the title literally in your hands, I can't see them messing that up, man.
Well,
because Bayern is away to Cologne.
Yeah, okay. Time will tell.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's just an interesting thing. Like you said, Bayern's still in the chance to, all they can do is win their game, and
Yeah.
then we will see what Dortmund
Take a
does
little peek at goal difference.
in the other game.
Bayern's goal difference is way superior, so Dortmund definitely need to win if Bayern win.
Right.
Yeah.
And they play at the same time, so
Yeah.
But
Good tighter race though.
good to the wrist.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, it's just I think if you're a Bayern fan, it's just a case of what could have been in terms of, even if you win the Bundesliga,
Mm-hmm.
like, you were aiming for shout at all 3 trophies. You got
I
a
know
ready
you
manager
might get
because of
none.
backroom politics. So I honestly though, but like we always said, or like I always felt, whatever happens this season, it's about preseason for Bayern. Their recruitment, they've been rumblings that they're not going to
Keep Mane.
look to push to keep
Cancelo.
Cancelo or
Mhm.
Mane, like you said. Apparently Mane is going to be surplus requirements. They're not looking to pay the buy option or activated buy option for Cancelo. And obviously they're in the market for number 9. We know that. Harry Kane's name has been mentioned at various points. I'm pretty sure a few other strikers have been mentioned as well. So it's all about preseason and how well they recruit, and maybe with a good preseason to can then make it again a happy camp. Because I mean, again, when you talk about how they mess it up, Mane punched Sané in his mouth after the first game in Champions League against City. It's gonna be hard to get the team to really come back together.
Yeah.
So I actually impressed that Tuchel won 5 games over the 8.
I think it actually just speaks to the fact Bayern had bigger problems than whatever Nagelsmann was doing behind the scenes.
Yeah, and then along with the Mane and Sané fracas or what's not, Upper Meccano's confidence has to be in the sewers after those Champions League displays.
Sewers?
Mhm.
Only? Because, I mean, honestly, this is not, because remember when he and Konate were at Leipzig?
Yeah.
I like them both, but I always thought Konate was better.
Right.
I genuinely thought. So I was surprised where there was more of a battle when Upamecano went on sale, whereas y'all just went for Konate without any sort of competition. I just felt Konate was better, and I still definitely think that. But even at international level, I feel like Upamecano sometimes even gets the nod ahead of Konate.
Yeah, and that's
which is a bit of surprise.
It surprised me too.
Yeah.
And I actually, silly on me, real talk, I actually felt like maybe people seeing something that I don't see, but I didn't really like ring the alarm bell because I got that sense, especially in the World Cup where Upamecano seemed to be first choice and Konate was more like second choice replacement. Or what's not, but yeah.
Oh, maybe it's people still seeing something that we don't see. Who knows?
Maybe, but I mean, you're not the only person that I've heard that take from in terms of they felt as though Konate is better than Upamecano. By the end of the day, Upamecano is the one who's in possession of the shirt, at least on a more frequent basis.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but
I would not be surprised if Bayern looked to sign another centre back though this summer. I don't think. I mean, I don't even know who are their backups to delete at Upamecano. You're unsure?
There. The names were. Yeah, no.
That father's played for them that I don't really fancy.
Sula?
Yeah. Or he's played for
He
Dortmund.
used to, but I think he got a soul now. I think he left.
I think he's still there.
You think he's still there?
I could still picture it in your right shirt.
You sure?
Yeah.
But I'm more sure he departed.
I could still picture you in that right shirt, man. I don't know what people are seeing. That's one thing for sure.
Oh Lord.
Nicholas Sula boy. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
right. Yeah, I think
Going back to Dortmund.
We're going back to Dortmund. Right.
Dortmund and Bayern is trade players like, whoa, boy. Yeah.
Dortmund's.
And even when they go to Bayern, just come back to Dortmund. Yeah.
I mean, it's like Dortmund's developed players, Bayern pinch them. And Bayern does that to all the clubs in Germany, though, to be fair. Leverkusen there, everybody. If Bayern could carry players, it would carry them.
But I know what's funny? The fella that scored the equalizer for Leipzig is actually going to Bayern.
Lemmer?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I found
I know he was going, but I didn't realize that he scored the equalizer.
Yeah, that was funny to me.
Interesting. Well,
celebrate too.
We ain't going there yet.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'll have time to tune in, but I'll be interested to see how that title race plays out. And we'll probably discuss it on Tuesday next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopping across the pond, which I'm sure it's not a pond, to La Liga.
Right.
Has some very interesting developments.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what's going on with this Vinicius thing.
Well, I sorry that I didn't put a statement, but as we know, as you know, Vinicius got a red card at the weekend against Valencia, I believe, in the game that Real lost 1-0. He was racially abused during the game. There was a moment where the game was paused because he pointed out the fans to the officials, hoping to have the fans, I suppose, removed or what's not. And then there was a bit of a fracas at the end of the game, and the red card was for violent conduct because I think there was a little skirmish and his arm connected with a Valencia player's fist. I don't think it was intentional, to be honest, but nevertheless. But yeah, after that, he took to social media, said that La Liga belongs to the racists. League that once belonged to Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and etc. now belongs to racists. And in Brazil, they see Spain as a country of racists. Yeah, and I did a bit of reading on it. So there are a couple things that I think are a bit unfortunate in this situation. I don't think the way it seems as if La Liga set up, it doesn't seem that as though they have the power as it currently stands that they can actually, discipline or hand out severe fines and even punishments and bans when these type of things. Apparently they don't have a jurisdiction. So apparently what they do is that they report incidents or cases to the Spanish government.
So they can't do points deductions?
No. It doesn't seem so.
Then you can always got the problem there.
Because but apparently they're now putting in a request to the Spanish government to change that law, but apparently or amend the law. But the law is that all they can do is really write the instant reports.
Yeah, because I'm at the point where you still just a few weeks ago, Lukaku has some issues as well in Serie A, which is standard, and we all know we still have the issue in England. Maybe not as on a wider scale as it was before, but we still do have it. I don't think anything is going to change because racism is a systemic issue.
Right.
So it's embedded in the society. It's not a football thing. It's a societal thing. But in terms of it being in football, I think the only thing that will really curb it is when fans see their club being punished for their actions. You cannot tell me that if you threaten Valencia with a 20-point deduction, or even threaten them with relegation, you can't tell me that fans will curb their behavior. They would. They absolutely would. Because football is in the DNA of a lot of these match-going fans, I believe. You have a passion. You want to see your team live and succeed and do well. If they had to be threatened with severe sanctions, I believe it will reduce the instances of it. An example needs to be made. I don't think banning fans, like I've seen people get lifetime bans from stadiums in England. Okay, the first thing people can say, okay, that's it. All I gotta do is not get caught. A life ban of somebody else doesn't affect you. You have to hit people where it hurts.
Right.
And I think where it hurts is punishing the clubs. So hopefully La Liga does succeed in changing this law because there needs to be a punishment. Stop punishing individuals and punish the corporate system, the football club that everybody loves. I bet you'll see a difference. I'm telling you.
Well, I don't know if you remember the name of the La Liga president.
I don't.
His last name is Tabas, but I can't remember his first name. Javier.
Okay.
Javier Tabas. The other unfortunate aspect of this issue is the comments that he made about Vinicius.
Oh, when he said that he's provoked the fans?
No, I don't know if he said I didn't read that part, but he did say, but he also said that Vinicius had opportunities to come and work alongside them to eradicate racism or what's not, and he declined or he didn't show
so
up
we
to a couple
blaming the victim now.
meetings. Exactly.
I see.
And that was disappointing. And that was really, really sad to see from someone in a leadership role.
Exactly.
So I have, little confidence that anything will be done.
Exactly, because
going forward.
if your leaders have a belief,
Mhm.
there's nothing that you can do.
That you prompted this, or because it's almost saying as though because he didn't show up to the meetings, this is why this is happening.
Exactly.
He shouldn't criticize La Liga. He has to.
Exactly. He 100% has to. I think I saw Drogba posted a video today of several instances. I don't know if it was a repost from Vinicius himself, but it was some video showing several collective instances. And not only in the stadium, fans outside stadium singing and chanting racist chants. And I'm like, seriously? And I'm like, I'm so grateful I live in a country where I don't have to experience that because we live in a predominantly black society.
Mhm.
But I just really feel for people who don't and have to experience that because it can't be easy. I mean, you yourself know yourself. You know what they're saying about you isn't true. But still,
It's like
I don't
it will make your blood boil.
Yeah.
And I always feel as though people who say that they should just get over it and just play on and ignore it. If they say it, so what? We don't know how we will respond until we're in the situation ourselves.
Exactly.
And that's easier said than done.
Exactly.
And I don't care how much money I'm getting at the end of the
Mhm.
day. If someone was to say something to me that was offensive
Mhm.
and, spoke to my race, for
Mhm.
example, I can have a problem.
Mhm.
And then, but I was going to add something, but I'm not going to because I don't want to promote
Yeah, be
violence.
professional.
Exactly,
Yeah,
right.
be professional.
Exactly. But I will have an issue. I'll have a serious issue, or someone spat at me, or
Yeah.
or throw a banana skin, like what we've seen happen before.
Calling you a monkey.
As I admit, monkey sounds or
Yeah.
what's not. I can have a problem.
Yeah, for sure.
If it was a footballer, it can be Cantona in the stands again.
Oh boy. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
I know, seriously. I would not
Yeah.
be. I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to control myself.
Yeah.
Because, and honestly, right, it's not football's job to stop racism. It really
I
isn't.
agree.
Like you said, it's a societal issue.
Mhm.
So I think the difference between what Lukaku, well, in Serie A and La Liga rather, is that Serie A can impose
Mhm.
sanctions, and I guess they do. But obviously, we know that Italy still has that problem. I think all over Europe has that problem.
Yeah.
Really,
Mhm.
it's a societal thing, and it's embedded. I don't even, like you said, I think the football is ingrained in the DNA of these fans and stuff like that. But I'm not so sure doing, like, for example, punishing the club and deducting points or what's not. I'm not sure that will solve it entirely. I still feel as though it will crop up again. Because
I think
if
so too.
some reason you're hurt,
Mhm. It's
you know,
true.
like you say, it's an emotional thing. If some reason you're hurt, it's gonna resurface at some point.
I agree, but I think it will curb it.
Mm.
I think it will curb it. I think it would. You know what it's like you doing something like that and you actually may cause your club to get relegated? I don't think you'll do it again. Even if you feel it, nah. I think it would do a lot to help. Because I think something needs to be done. I think banning individual people is not the answer.
Mhm.
Because I ain't really care if this body get banned. I can still go to the game and do and say what I want.
Yeah.
So you need to make the punishment felt by a wider collective, in my opinion.
Well,
We'll see what happens. Probably nothing, right?
yeah, probably. But commiserations to Vinicius.
Yeah, for sure.
Feel for him, and feel for any black players who've been subjected to that kind of vitriol
I
from
agree.
any fan base. It's really not right.
Agreed. So, our final segment before we move to our dreaded leaderboard and predictions. I'm so glad that gave me over to here. Anyways.
Wait, what are you buying me?
What?
What are you buying me?
Anyways, so
So
do we think
Mhm.
forget the leaderboard?
Oh Lord.
I've heard a few Manchester United fans saying that Man United aren't better off under Ten Hag than under Schuster. That's what it's been like, right?
So sure, yeah.
I just call he Ole, yeah. What do you think of that statement?
I have to agree with them. I think.
Really?
Mm.
Whoa.
Can I explain? I will be happy to
I
elaborate.
am intrigued.
Great, sure. I think Man U are still a long way off. All right, actually no, let me not put it in the overall spectrum. Let me look at Ten Hag and Ole.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Ten Hag, has done an okay season, and this is what I mean. I think he's fulfilled the minimum requirements of Man United, which is top 4 finish, and he's actually delivered a trophy, and he has a chance of delivering another trophy in the FA Cup final. But from a stylistic point of view, from a progress point of view, I don't, because there's not a whole lot has been done to the playing squad. You added Casemiro, Malacia, and Lisandro Martinez, and then you got Weghorst and Sabitzer on loan in January.
Mm-hmm.
Sabitzer's hopefully rest of the season. I don't believe Man U signing him full time.
Oh, Ericsson too.
Yeah,
in terms of he get Ericsson.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Right, I don't believe he's signing Sabitzer full time. I don't think it's signed Weghorst full time.
Definitely not.
Good. So a lot hasn't changed from the playing point of view in terms of the playing personnel. Right. So I don't think the team has really moved forward that much. I think where the progress has been achieved with Man U, if you want to argue that he's made any progress at all, which I think he has, but I think it's been an okay season. I don't think people should get carried away and say, "Oh, he's done so much better than Ole," because statistically, it's still kind of close. I think where the progress has been achieved is maybe the culture of the club, because some of the background noise that you was hearing at the start of the season and in the Ole tenure has gradually, dissipated, right? It has gone away. It has diminished. You had the issue with the players who were leaving at halftime of a preseason game.
I see it ages ago.
It does, right?
Wow.
He got rid of some of those players, obviously, and gradually changed the mindset or the culture or the way in which the team operates. If you look at the Cristiano Ronaldo situation, that was an important moment because obviously, although I think some of it he brought on himself with his decision, but nonetheless, I do believe that was an important moment in terms of setting the culture and setting the standard for who is supposed to be respected as a figurehead of the club. Because that was basically a power struggle between a star player and a new coach. And he won that battle. The club backed him. Cristiano Ronaldo is no longer part of the club, right? Won that battle. But, I mean, if you look at your Ole tenure and his tenure, this has not been smooth sailing. They have periods where there's been some nice little highs and they had a nice little run together.
And their away form has been awful.
Right, and then they had some periods where they were struggling. There were periods where they've had some big losses in this season as well. 7-0.
Of course, you're going to try to ease that one in there.
7-0. It was 6-2 or 6-3 in the end.
I think 3.
All right, against City, right? And then this Europa League semi-final against Sevilla, 2-0 up with about 19 odd minutes to go. A draw 2-1, and then you know what happens in Seville. So I don't think it's been a season that has been a successful season, but the fact that he won Seville and he got the Champions League is one where, okay, we established that he's met the minimum requirement, and now we look to build on it. So I think it's something that he can build on. That's my assessment of it.
I kind of disagree, though.
Sure.
I think that he has overachieved a bit with that squad. Ole, to me, had a better squad of players than he does.
To you?
On paper. Emphasis on.
Let's go through in which departments.
A firing Cristiano, Pogba.
Who
What was it? Pogba's a good player. We won't get into that debate. We don't have the time for that.
Listen, wait. Stop. First thing first. Just because you don't. No. If you can make a statement, I have to respond to it. Number one, and Pogba is a good player, but he's never produced consistently, so you can't say he's a good player. If you say a good player, I'm assuming that you mean he showed up for Man U. How often?
Fine, whatever.
But anyway, Pogba, who else?
A fit and firing Cristiano Ronaldo. Top goal scorer.
Ronaldo was top goal scorer, yes. In a bad team, okay.
Right. I wasn't going down the list. I was just saying, I think
you said better score.
We have, but okay. Let me rephrase what I'm saying then. We have sat here time and time again, and we have dissected how we feel Manchester United squad needs a rebuild and a revamp. And I think with the players that they added, with the exception of Lisandro Martinez and Casemiro, none of the players they've added, and Ericsson, let me give Ericsson that. None of the players they've added have significantly improved Manchester United. In fact, they're, I would say, just above our average players. And I think with the resources he has, for instance, Liverpool's squad is better than Manchester United's squad, in my opinion.
Okay.
Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But look at what Ten Hag has done with that squad that still needs a significant rebuild. Get him top 4, get him a trophy, get him to a cup final. Albeit, yes, he's had some lows and he got knocked out in not so great fashion in the Europa League semi-final. I think he's done a good job with a not so great squad.
Okay. All right. Can I respond?
Sure.
Because I disagree.
Okay.
And I am not even saying that he hasn't done a great job. He's done a good job. But the notion that the Man U squad needed a complete rebuild and overhaul, I think is incorrect. The Man U squad, if you go through it top to bottom, well, it probably needs an overhaul in terms of depth. It needs more quality. But if you go through, let's say, the first 13 or 14 players on that list, they're all expensively assembled players.
Agreed.
For the most part.
But like you said, the depth is critical.
The problem that Man U had under Ole,
Mm-hmm.
that Ten Hag has addressed when they said it's a mindset culture change, is can you get these players to play up to your standard? So if you get a more consistent performance from likes of Luke Shaw, likes of Victor Lindelof, likes of Anthony Martial, likes of Marcus Rashford, who was poor under Ole for the most part, likes of Bruno, Taisot Mone, likes of Jadon Sancho, likes of Rafael Varane, it's a good squad, but you need to get them to play more consistently, which Ten Hag has done. I don't think Man U squad needed a complete rebuild. You think you need to get somebody dead but over there, such as Paul Pogba. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care what the boys say. You need to get some of that lot out of there who seem to be more concerned with the glitz and glamour about being at Manchester United than actual, producing results. You need to get rid of some of those. You still got some dead to get rid of in Harry Maguire and company like that don't seem to be part of the future plans, but don't seem to want to leave either. You need to find a way to force them towards the exit door.
Well, Phil Jones leaving in summer.
I like a lot of what Ten Hag is doing, but the question is, has he done tremendously better than Ole? I think marginally so.
I don't think it's marginal.
Okay.
A top 4 finish and a trophy and a cup final. I think he's done a good job.
The trophy that he wants, the Carabao Cup.
See, one of people like to diminish the Carabao Cup.
No.
It.
I start any season, Man U, Liverpool, Chelsea, the boy looking to win the Carabao Cup.
I agree, but
it's
that doesn't
nice if
mean
you win it.
Exactly, it's nice if you win it. So
for the fans,
I hate to hear.
But that's not something that I can say was a successful season because I win the Carabao Cup.
Fair enough, but I hate to hear fans diminishing the Carabao Cup when other clubs win it. When they win it, they can celebrate it like a trophy.
We can celebrate it, but I'm not diminishing it. I'm saying that winning Carabao Cup does not make it a successful season. Which part of that?
Yes, but it's still a trophy.
It is a trophy, but it's not enough to make it a successful season.
I'm not saying he was successful. The question was not whether he's successful. The question is whether he's done better than Ole. And in my opinion, he has. His win percentage is even better. I think he's instilled a good culture at the club. He's been forceful and authoritative when needed. And I think he's a good manager. So for me, the answer is yes.
Marissa, if you look at Ole's first full season in charge,
Mm-hmm.
Ole amassed 74 points
Mm-hmm.
in total. Ten Hag is not going to get 74 points. So what he said is on par. I'm judging from Ole had 2 seasons, Ten Hag won. Right? So if you look at overall win percentage, you comparing Ole's first season and the last one that he didn't last the entire season to. Right? That's a little bit unfair. I'm looking at one season that the one full season that Ole did have and the one full season that Ten Hag has now completed or about to complete.
Mm-hmm.
Both results will be on par in that context. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is that Ten Hag has won the Carabao Cup already and he's in the FA Cup final.
Mm-hmm.
I have no way making an argument for Ole saying it on par. But anyway, Ole would have gone to the Europa League final. Right? Didn't he? And lost 1 penalties. I think apart from that, he would have gone to a few semi-finals.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like on par with what Ten Hag has done because Ten Hag got to the quarterfinals of the Europa League and he finished the FA Cup and he won the Carabao Cup. But I'm saying, like, you said you think he did better. I'd be okay. Yes, the Carabao Cup is a tangible evidence that, okay, well, the season was not a complete
But it's
base.
not only the Carabao Cup that I'm going on.
Yeah,
As I said, I'm going based on the culture, how he's handled certain messy situations, how he has the team playing.
Well, I personally raised those points, but go ahead. Keep going.
But I'm using that as evidence to say why I think he's done better. We don't have to agree.
No, we don't have to agree. But remember that you started by saying you started by talking about playing inside. I was the one who spoke about things off the
It
field.
doesn't matter who
As a
spoke
measure
about
of-
what.
Yes, it
I'm
does.
just saying
Because then
that
it feels as though you're taking my point and using it as
To-
evidence against my. But I'm saying, okay, if you look at the success of him, it's from off the field stuff and not on the field stuff. It's a
that's not
difference.
true. I think they're playing better. They're not playing great, but they're playing better than they played under Ole. And I think he has visible tactics. Whereas Ole used to just have Man U as sit back and counter attack. So I think when you look at all the tangibles and intangibles, both on the field, off the field, cut runs, playing style, how he's handled situations, in my opinion, he has done a better job than Ole. That
I
is my
didn't finish
opinion.
this now, right? Because I know which football you watching and which Man you watching.
Mm.
But Man U still looks the best they've looked this season when they play on the break. And a lot of Man U's important wins, let's call it that, have been where they have built on robust defending from Sandro Martinez and whoever else has been at the back. And then hit the people on the break. Using the pace of Rashford. And the odd little creative ball from Bruno Fernandes. But I'll leave it there.
Okay.
I don't think he's had a bad season. I think he's had an okay one. Has he had a better season than Ole? Only separation for me is the fact he win the Carabao Cup. But I'm saying winning Carabao Cup still does not make it a successful season or a season where Man U fans should be overjoyed. But it is an encouraging start. They have something to build upon. If you win the FA Cup, then yeah, I will have to consider as 2 whole trophies. Even though, well, actually, where Man U started this season, I have a point. Well, okay, yeah, I'll give them the FA Cup if they do win. Which is, I don't want to put them on City, but even that is unlikely. But
Well, we see what the fans have to say. I think most Man U fans will be pleased with their progress. Concerning that, I don't think either of us have Man U in the top 4 at the beginning of this season either.
I had Man U 4th.
Mm.
I had them 4th. And you know, progress on Man U barely. Well, I even say barely. We'll forget. Well, I mean, to confirm it, no. Or I think they play Chelsea on Thursday. A point will be enough. But a couple episodes ago, rather, we were talking about how Man U might look a little shaky here. Almost, you know what I mean? So, like, I mean, when you say progress, you got to put everything in perspective. But anyhow, they've done, like I said, they've achieved the minimum requirement, which would be the minimum requirement for a Chelsea, a Liverpool, or Arsenal, which is get top 4.
Right.
Mhm.
So let's move on to the leaderboard. I had a bad week this leaderboard. I can be so glad when this over. So I got 2 none of us got any score lines right. But I got 2 predictions right. Can't remember what those 2 were. And you got 5 predictions right. So currently I am at 29 points. And you are at 35 points. Yeah. So last game, week of the season.
Mhm.
So let's get it. Actually, we have a few what do you call these, stray games that had gotten postponed. Brighton, Man City, Chelsea, Man United, and then we have our last game week. So let's get some predictions going. Brighton, Man City is tomorrow at 3. Man City's away.
Mhm.
So what are you thinking?
I'll go 1-0 City.
1-0?
Yeah. I don't think because it means the title's already wrapped up. I don't think City can come and play a full tilt. But I don't think they embarrass Brighton either, so I'll go 1-0. The important thing I got a big enough lead that the important thing for me is more get the result as opposed to score line. But
Yeah, I think it can be 2-1 City. Man United at home to Chelsea.
1-0 United win.
0-0.
Okay.
I've never predicted 0-0 on this show, but I swear Man United Chelsea has ended 0-0 so many times in recent years. Set that 1-1. Ugh, still thinking about that. Let's see. Spurs away to Leeds.
2-1 Leeds.
Yeah, I agree. I cannot believe I remember you predicted 2-1 Brentford last week. And I'm like, how Spurs let 3 goals? I just cannot with Spurs right now. I just cannot. Man City away to Brentford.
Man City away to Brentford.
Yeah.
2-0 City.
Yeah, I agree. Man United at home to Fulham.
1-1.
2-1 United. Chelsea at home to Newcastle.
2-1 Newcastle.
I feel like getting 3-1 Newcastle, no, but I ain't go 1-1. Newcastle coming off of qualifying for the Champions League. Congratulations to them. We didn't even mention that. And celebrations was wild yesterday, man.
I didn't watch again.
Never see some wilder celebrations for no ever. Arsenal at home to Wolves.
Sheesh.
Man saying sheesh like that's our prediction.
2-0 Arsenal. It's not a hard prediction. It's just that if I'm an Arsenal fan, I know that them wish them they had more games to play. But that's all it is. But 2-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, 2-0 Arsenal. I would say 3-0, but 2-0. Liverpool away at Southampton. Good gosh, this could be anything.
3-0 Liverpool.
2-0 Liverpool. And I want to predict Everton, Bournemouth, and what was the other one? Leicester, yeah. So Everton at home to Bournemouth.
2-1 Everton.
2-0 Everton. And the last one, Leicester at home to West Ham.
2-0 West Ham.
What? You're not even backing the men to score at home?
Wait, what? What the game was again?
Leicester at home to West Ham.
Oh, right, yeah. 2-0 West Ham.
So you don't even think Leicester can even score a last goal in the Premier League in front of home fans? He was a harsh boy. I think this game be a 2-2. I think it's going to be a very entertaining game. Leicester can sit. Because I thought at Newcastle, they were just sitting back, absorbing pressure, playing for the point, and the point wasn't enough. They can't do that. They're going to have to go for it. So I think it'll be goals, 2-2. So that's it. Lastly, the board. I need to get some score lines right in order to win this thing. Which I don't even think it's going to happen. I can't be bothered. So, that is it for me. That's it for you. So I just want to thank, of course, and big up our sponsors. And I actually forgot to include our little ad. So maybe our producer could slip in the ad at the end. Sorry, Whole Health. We just got so caught up in our discussion. But yeah, definitely big up Whole Health. We still have our tumblers. Shat has sported a humidifier in his studio for a while, and I must say the air feels nice and humidified. So Whole Health Pharmacy, you can follow them at Whole Health Pharmacy on Instagram. You can follow us, the Dugout _podcast. Myself, Marissa Simone 91, and Drew 9106. And of course, Spirit Life Studios 246, who does a marvelous job every week with our setup, our audio, our video, everything. So that's it from us. And join us next week to see how this last day of the season ends up. So you can say bye to people?
Normally, I do just, and you don't want anything from me. But yeah, I'll see y'all next week.
See y'all next week.
You could have just ended.